All right, you guys, good afternoon. My name is Donovan Siddiq. I'm the Inland Empire Informer. I am here to inform you about the case. Okay. It's a little complicated, but I ended up coming back here because I had to get some more paperwork. And usually the judge said he was going to mail the information to me and stuff, which is great. But I forgot to ask for my court fees, so I didn't get the court fees. So, lesson learned, I just forgot. This judge was so quick to get us up out of there that I just forgot to ask. I'm just, you're kind of in shock because he was just like, get to the point, get to the point, get to the point, right? Okay. Basically, what I found out, it hasn't been mailed to me and it hasn't been certified yet, but what I found out is he did rule in my favor, okay? I won the case. Did I get $10,000? No, I didn't get $10,000. Did I get $5,000? No, I didn't get $5,000. The case against Jimson, I believe, was thrown out. He didn't figure she wasn't the person that actually assaulted me. It was, more likely than not. Let me say that. More likely than not, Denise Fleming. So I just went up and got the judgment. They can't give it to me because it hasn't been certified and filed off, whatever. But the clerk kind of let me know what the outcome of it was. The judge did assign Edgemont Women's Club, I believe something like, don't quote me, but something like $400 total. And I believe Denise Fleming was quoted as something close to that $400, $375 or whatever. Now, here's my thing. I basically broke even in fees and everything, which is fine. It really wasn't about the money. It was about the fact of holding somebody accountable for what they did to me. There wasn't a lot of people in the court. The witnesses were not used at all. I'm going to talk about this a little bit more in depth now that the case is over. I can do that now. I know what the outcome is, but just wanted you guys to know I thank you guys for all your support. I'm sorry that we couldn't use our witnesses. I think because we're in small claims court, they don't want to waste too much time. They just want to get to the meat and potatoes. But if we were in a civil court, I think that, by the Constitution and by right, you have a right to present your evidence. And unfortunately, I didn't get to present all of my evidence or my witnesses. And let me say this for Denise Fleming, or let me say Miss Fleming, because I'm not going to be disrespectful like she was to me. Miss Fleming and Miss Jimson and the Moreno Valley Women's Club, they didn't get a chance to present all their evidence either. And I thought that was a little bit unfair to both parties, to all parties involved. We did not get to present our evidence. We didn't get to present our witnesses. This guy was like, get to the meat and potatoes. Simple as that. But I'm going to go into it a little bit more, and now that it's over, and tell you guys basically my take on the case. It's unfortunate that it's come to this, but just like the commissioner, who's an attorney, he's a commissioner, judge, whatever you want to call him. He said at the end of the day, and I'm paraphrasing, basically, he said, regardless if I'm breaking their rule or not, or whatnot, whatever, nobody has a right to put their hands on somebody else. That's what the police are supposed to do. And what happened was, it was just taken a little too far. And, it was just one of those things. But I would say this. I do feel it's unfair that none of the parties were allowed to present all of their evidence. Because I had so much overwhelming evidence in regards to the videos that I don't even see how they were going to refute anything that I've said. And I'm going to talk about it a little bit more in depth with you guys. But from what I just heard from the clerk, I won. Edgemont Women's Club was fined to pay my fee. Denise Fleming was fined to pay my fee about $400. So I probably won $700 and something total. LaDonna Jimson basically was exonerated. Basically, he didn't see anywhere where she was responsible for what happened to me. The reason why I put LaDonna Jimson into the case was the fact that she aided and abetted Denise Fleming in weaponizing the police on me, and also, helping to obstruct and block my constitutional rights of my camera. So Stefani says, glad you stood up for yourself. Yeah, you got to stand up for yourself. I mean, it's getting a little bit out of control here. And Bruce, thank goodness that Kendall is... Yeah, Bruce. Yeah, her temple has taken a loss today. Okay. Yeah. The guy was no nonsense. He was just like, no. He asked LaDonna, a simple question, and it was like yes or no, and she had to say no, and he was really no nonsense, and I really thought that was unfair to everybody involved, because there's more involved to it. Because if I'm the plaintiff, I should have a right to present my case. And I didn't have that right. He was like, okay, what's this? Get to this. And he was asking, the whatever questions. And I'm just like, wow, I don't even get a chance. And I really felt bad for my opponents, for the simple fact that I don't feel that they got a fair presentation of their case. And I'm not saying that they would have won. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is, as somebody who always talks about the law and, what I think is right, I just don't feel that if I was the defendant, I don't feel that I had the opportunity to present the case. But, when you're loud talking the judge, when you're interrupting the judge, because I put my stuff out there and I just said, what do you want? This is a long video. Do you want me to get to the meat and potatoes? And I got to the meat and potatoes. And I showed the part that I thought was very pertinent, because, okay, in small claims court, and I'm not a lawyer, but I consult with lawyers, and, I got a lawyer for another thing. Yeah, Shantae, the judgment was rendered. It was. I know you guys think, oh, Donovan's a loudmouth. He thinks he knows everything, whatever. I do have 12 degrees. Doesn't make me an expert. I'm not saying that, but I know what I know. And because I know what I know, it's not my fault you don't know your basic rights, but I know my basic rights. So, I'm not saying that they would have beat me or whatever. I'm just saying, if I was, I just don't feel none of the parties were given enough chance to present their evidence. And I thought that their evidence, more so from Miss Fleming, was the fact that her evidence was more based, in my opinion, on character assassination. She was going to assassinate my character. And I can understand where the judge was going, because he's like, who more so than anybody else would have hit him in the head, or, how did the flag hit him? And that's what it really came down to. And I knew this in small claims court, the propensity of the evidence is more on my side to prove. So all I need is 51% to show it is more likely that she did this to me than Shantae did it to me. You see, do you guys understand that, how that works? And that's pretty much how it works in small claims. It's the propensity of the evidence that it's more likely than not. And that's what he basically ruled on. So I'm gonna go into it a little bit more, but I won the case. I mean, it just seems that I won. I broke even. They didn't have to pay my legal fees, which I thought that was kind of automatic, but I think that's in another civil case. So civil harassment case coming up on the 31st. I want to thank supported me and stuff, and it's over. It's basically over at this point. So I'm gonna put up my documents. I'm redacting. I'm gonna do some redacting before I put up the document, because I want you guys to see what my opposition had against me. And it was really sad, because all they had was what I had. Their evidence was what my evidence was. And yeah, Yeah, so I'm gonna head home, get out of this monkey suit, and do that. But I want to thank Daryl Terrell, Fred, Lindsay, Jerry Mercado, Alicia Espinoza, you know, all of you guys that came out to witness and just say what it is you wanted to say. But I don't know what you guys were going to say against that video. That's what killed me. I don't know what you guys were going to say against that video. But again, you know, thank you guys for coming out. I'm sorry, you know, you guys weren't utilized. I thought, you know, but I don't think it would have beat me against that video. Once the judge saw the video, he was done at that point, in my opinion. It's like he saw what he saw, and he said it's more likely than not you were the cause of his injury. Now, did my injury go up to $10,000? No, it didn't, which is thus why I'm in small claims court. LaDonna and I tried to work it out. You know, LaDonna got roped into it, and we tried to moderate it. And, you know, Miss Jimson felt that an apology was an admission of guilt, and that's her right if that's how she felt. But a lot of this would have gone away if they would have taken responsibility for what happened to me. It's just that cut and dry. I believe I'm a reasonable person. I believe that. But when it was all said and done, Miss Fleming was a little bit upset. You know, it's unfortunate, but again, I just thank everybody that came out. It looked like a small city council meeting, but I prevailed. It looks like I prevailed in this case. Yeah, Ashante says, please redact the prior to posting. I'm glad that you won, and shame for those on the wrong side of this. So, hey, Amanda, she calls me, hey, daddy. So yeah, so now that it's over, I can post the documents. I want you guys to see what Miss Fleming put in there. It was pure character assassination. If you were there or you saw the videos, totally goes against the videos. So now I'm going to put them up, and you know, we tried to moderate it. Denise said that she refused to pay a dime. She refuses for her club to pay a dime. Miss Fleming said that I owed her an apology. She said that she is going to counter sue me. You know, you can sue anybody for a ham sandwich. You know, there's nothing I can do about it. But, you know, I'd like this to be over and move on. But if she wants to, you know, keep going, we can keep going. Like I said, we have a civil harassment suit. You know, we're going to see how it pans out. Sorry about the Wi-Fi. I'm kind of away from it. So that's it. I'm going to go into it a little bit later. It is hot out here. I'm taking my black butt home. Thank you guys. I really thank you guys. And you really got to understand how it works. Freedom of the press is freedom of the, you know, it doesn't matter how many rules you put out there. It doesn't matter if it's private property. Yes, you could remove me, but you can't stop me from recording until the police come. It is not your job to do that. And that's one thing that we were told in the case. And I knew that was the case too, because, hey, okay. So a lot of lessons learned. Let me get out of here. This thing keeps going in and out, but a lot of lessons were learned in this case. Conte says they still can't admit they were wrong. Wow, terrible individuals. Nancy says good or 2 ham sandwiches. Exactly. So I'll talk about this a little bit later. I'm gonna do some redaction to make sure I get everything out of the way, and I want you guys to see what was said in this case. And it was total bullshit.